Jerry Champy. I'll title this recording was very, very short. A recording inspired by motivational speeches, thinking like a billionaire. Pretty good stuff. I would give it 50 to 65% good stuff on their channel. The stuff that I've listened to. I was thinking of someone once told me that I'm not going to mention their name, that they want to be a male version of Beyonce, because they're from the same world that Beyonce was from. And I was saying, okay, that's cool, great, awesome. But if I were talking to someone, this person's almost the same age as me, but if I was talking to a young person, I would share with them what was shared with me at age 15 when I was in the foster home, Rancho Delgado. It was a Latin foster home off of Old Friant Road in Fresno, California. Because you had Friant Road and you had Old Friant. A person can Google it, Friant Road, Old Friant, and that house is still there. The last time I checked anyway, so about 2 or 3 years ago, in the barn where I took care of my first horse is also there, and that's like a 120-year-old barn. Anyway, what I would tell a young person is everyone has their own opinion toward dreams, and everybody's dream is not going to be the same size. So what I would share with a young person, ages 18 up, reality is, or even younger, reality is, as I was told at age 15, everyone has their own opinion. And everyone's goal is going to be different. So here it is. I came to Houston at age 25, almost 16, almost 26, I'm sorry. And going in a closet here because I don't want to make too much noise. And my goal was small in the average person, 85% to 100% person's mentality, because my goal was just to get a job at a nightclub. And if that worked out right, maybe somehow possibly save to record music, because music recording was expensive and music recording was really, really big here in H-Town. Between the years of, I'm going to say 93 all the way to 2005, 2008, we'll say, before the world recession. So anyway, that was a big dream to record, but the first step was to come up with money and spare time, because if you work at a nightclub, you make okay money and have spare time, so I heard. So anyway, it took me 6 years before I got hired at my first club, and someone would say, well, why 6 years? Why so long? Well, to make money, you're going to have to work at clubs that are popular, and most of them are at the high-end parts of Houston. It doesn't matter if you're valet parking, it doesn't matter if you're doorman, it doesn't matter if you're bar back, it doesn't matter if you're a bartender, it doesn't matter if you're a show host, it doesn't matter if you're a DJ, it doesn't matter what your position is. They're only looking for particular people. And that's just how that goes. So I finally got a job at certain clubs, blah, 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 different story about that. So I now have a little extra money to buy used equipment from pawn shops, and I have spare time to record, but recording is still expensive, still so expensive. So I figured out times change. Most people just record at home. But I was like, okay. But the thing about that is recording, which I didn't know required writing. You're going to have to write melodies by number or by notes. So I learned to write by number, keyboard, and guitar, and it has to be lyrics, and all has to collide. And there's intros, outros, bridges, choruses, all that. So that was fun. I wrote my first album, Pamela, and a few other stuff. So writing came before recording. So the third thing is we were very successful. We recorded 24 albums between 2013 and 2019, 7 years. So voila, there you go. Nightclubs, number one, took 6 years. Recording didn't start till 2013. That also took about 5 years, 5 or 6 years. Because we started working club, we'll just say at the beginning of, even though it was November 2006, we'll just round it off to 2007. From 2007 to 2012, 5 years. When I left the nightclub, we start recording. So that was 5 years. But before we were recording, working in nightclubs, we were writing. So those two dreams, nightclubs and recording, but first writing came before recording. I didn't know that it was going to be that way. This took 12 years. Wow, 12 years to achieve 3 goals. Number 1, nightclub. Number 2, writing. And number 3, recording. I had no idea that I was going to have to be a writer in order to be into recording, to record music. So that's 3 things. And the 4th thing is, the reason I thought about perhaps creating a song, and maybe it might go somewhere, be a hit, and live the 5-star life. Well, guess what? The 5-star life of a record deal was when I came here. And it didn't register till like 2010. I was like, Paul, you never got that record deal. Yes, you did. You moved here. This is the life of a record deal. Whatever state you're in, you live in a 5-star area. This is it, the Galleria. So this was the first thing. I had the record deal and didn't even know it when I first came here. It didn't really register until like 3 years, 2010. I was like, well, I never got the record deal, but I got a record deal, without music. So that's all I have to say to share with someone. Keep your dreams minimum, not medium, not maximum, minimum. And that's how we achieve those 4 things over a period, I'm going to just say 12 years, between 2001 all the way to 2013, recording music. Yeah. Nightclub, number 1. Number 2, writing. Number 3, music. And number 4, just moving here, was the 5-star record deal treatment that I didn't even realize till 2 or 3 years passed. 2 or 3 years passed. All 4 of those were accomplished by 2013. And it would have never happened if I didn't take the advice that I got as a teenager at Rancho Delgado. We used to have group meetings, and they say you have medium. They were teaching we have minimum goals, medium, and maximum. And all what I just explained were minimum / maximum. 75% minimum to 10 to 25% maximum. We'll just say plus. But they are mostly minimum goals. But to me, those 4 goals of, coming to H-Town, working nightclubs, if I was lucky, recording music, but first came writing before music. And I thought about writing. I thought it'd be cool to write something like a small guidebook. Well, it happened. And number 4, the 5-star record deal lifestyle of music. All of those goals looked like impossible to reach, but they were minimum goals to someone who's already been here. They're just minimum goals to the average person. The average person doesn't dream of that stuff. They don't dream about trying to record music because who knows, they might get a lucky song. Average person doesn't think like that. They think, hey man, if I apply for an audition, I hope like heck that I get a record deal, because I performed and they liked me. Because that's the type of stuff you heard back in the day and blah, blah, blah. We're not going to get into all that. No. Average person doesn't think like the way I thought. I just wanted to record a song. I didn't care about it going viral. I didn't care about it getting me noticed, I just wanted to record. But if it did get noticed, that'd be cool. So the reason we achieved all of our 4 goals, we kept it minimum, even though it was maximum to me, it was maximum goals to me. In most people's eyes, as I look back now, those are minimum goals. Working in a nightclub is minimum. That's not maximum goal. Recording music. Okay? Not a record deal, just recording music. That's a minimum goal. Writing a guide book on helpful tips that also turned into music, which I didn't know, is a minimum goal. And of course, 5-star lifestyle by accident, in most cases, is a minimum goal. Why? Because you can always be a roommate and you can always be a helper of someone that lives in River Oaks and Memorial. It's not that hard. You can apply, to walk people's dogs, So that's how we were successful, in my opinion. Keep your goals minimum and you'll achieve them. Keep the minimum. In your eyes, they might be maximum, but keep the minimum. Basically, keep something within reach. And that is how we were successful. This is a long recording, but that's what I'm reminding myself. Keep it a minimum. Don't make goals that are impossible to reach. Hey, you may get there, but you're going to have to take a lot of baby steps. You're going to go up a lot of flights of different steps before you get those huge goals. So that's all I would say, Champion About Legacy. Today's date is 10/21/2024. Time 6:53 a.m. All praise to you, Papa. God Cannon. Champion About Legacy.